Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again.
It's time for the J. Craig 5, maybe 10-minute movie review.
Hey everybody, I just saw Tomb Raider. I just walked out of the theater, got in my car, came home, had a piece of pizza, and now I'm talking to you. So this is going to be more of a first impression for the new 2018 Tomb Raider, starring Alicia Vikander. And let me just say, first off, I'm a big fan of the original video game from the PlayStation. It was an important time for video games for me. And if you've heard our video game podcast, especially part 2, I talk about how PlayStation was a big moment for me playing some of these games, and Tomb Raider always got me because I love the adventure, I love the puzzles, I love the environments that they're always in, and it was like Indiana Jones, right? It was Indiana Jones, but you were a female, and it was cool. This new movie is based on the reboot of the Lara Croft Tomb Raider series. So they made a game just a few years back that was this. It was young Lara Croft, she's not quite Lara Croft yet. You know, she's still learning to become Lara Croft. She's Bruce Wayne before he's Batman. The one thing that they did right was capture what it is to watch that or play that video game. I mean, there's moments where she does exactly what you would expect her to do in the video game, and it looks and feels like Lara Croft. So the way it was filmed, the way it was staged, it felt very video game-esque, and I appreciated that. It didn't take over the movie until towards the end where you have your climax. Of course, you're going to have that, obviously, right? But what it's about a young lady who, her father has disappeared. He's rich, but she refuses to take his money. She refuses to sign the documents that give her all of what Croft Manor is and all the businesses that they own, and she refuses to do that. And it's not out of spite or because she, is mad at him, but she doesn't want to believe he's dead, and so she refuses to take his money. So she struggles, and she doesn't have a lot of money. She doesn't have any money. She can't pay for her bills, and she's trying to survive. And all she has to do is sign this piece of paper, and she's a quadrillionaire, okay? So obviously elements start to take her towards the path of her father, and she goes on a journey to find out what happened to her father, and that's where obviously the adventure starts. The story serves its purpose. It gets you from point A to point B, and there's lots of obstacles in the way, but it's just really the characters that hinder that journey. I thought it was a good half of a movie. I thought they did a good job leading you down this road of this lady who, is struggling, wants to find her father. But once it got to the midpoint, that's where it fell apart for me. And that's the crucial midpoint. The almighty midpoint. It gets to the midpoint and it kind of falters. I didn't care about the motivations. I didn't care about the whole purpose of the plot. And most importantly, I didn't care about the characters' motivation. So I think the big problem I had was it failed to make me care. And there's a father-daughter angle that they're trying to work with, and I really felt that it missed, because you put any type of father and child scene in a movie where there's one's leaving the other, or maybe one's dying, or there's that, it pulls at my heartstrings. It's an easy one for me. This movie failed to grab me in that way. The scene in Death Wish where Bruce Willis is talking to his daughter and his daughter finds out that her mom's dead, that scene had so much emotional power that this movie had none of that, unfortunately. That being said, I somewhat enjoyed it. It's not great. It's barely good, but it's passable. And while it was entertaining, I just didn't care. After that midpoint hit and it started to go downhill and I felt, we're in a tailspin. Oh, never mind. It's just another action movie. Okay, carry on then. It's kind of how I felt towards the latter part of this movie, and I just didn't care on why anybody was doing what they were doing. But it definitely served its purpose. It was entertaining, and I will say, even if the movie was horrible, I still got to watch Alicia Vikander for 2 hours, and I guess that's worth the admission. But maybe that's it. Maybe it is that bad, and maybe I was just blinded by her beauty, because I was very smitten by her. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of the 5-minute movie review for Tomb Raider. Go see it. Hopefully you like it. If you didn't, them's the breaks. We'll see you next time.